last week I did a little poll on Instagram, and we have my next two topics, starting today with cultural shock. And next week, hopefully, I'll have the paperwork slash jobs, I guess, update, because I've done one before. So let's go ahead and dive in. Throughout the video, you're going to hear my husband's voice in the background. Y'all know he's camera shy, so he probably won't pop in the video, but you'll hear his voice. So let's get started. Cultural shock. Oof. Let's start with language. So it's not that we don't speak Spanish or that we don't understand Spanish, like we do. But just like in the States, there are different accents and different regions use different words. And some people speak a lot faster than others. And also professional Spanish and like academic Spanish is completely different than, like everyday Spanish. So it has been a struggle. Like to this day, we still run into things that we don't like. So like, I remember when I was at my former job, the principal, we would have like our monthly staff meetings, and the principal would talk really, really fast in Spanish. And so following the meeting, I would either have to ask her or other coworkers, like, hey, like, can you repeat or can you explain whatever she said? Or I would reiterate to them, like, she said this, this, and this, right? Because she would just talk super fast. And then the other thing is, like, they have this albureo, like double meaning of things that sometimes we just completely don't understand. Specifically, the guy behind the camera, not gonna say any names, but like those are super difficult to understand. And like we'll be in a room at a party or having dinner or with friends, and they'll say something and everyone will start laughing, and we're just like, okay, like, can you explain it? And eventually someone will explain it, but it's not as funny. And then like the different phrases. This is more of an Enrique story. But once he started to say this phrase, I started to like make fun of it. I don't know if it's a San Luis thing or like a Mexico thing, but like after they tell a story or they tell you something, they'll be like, "Como ves?" Like to reiterate, like, what does it mean in English? Like,
what do you think?
Like, what do you think? And so the first time hearing "Como ves," it's like, well, no muy bien, porque uso lentes. And they laughed. That was my husband's story. Like, they laughed at him and then they explained it. But the same thing, the first time he used it with me, we were on FaceTime, he said, "Como ves?" I was like, I mean, obviously I can't because I have to use glasses. Because we took it literal, but it's not. It's like, hey, what's up? What do you think? So little things like that have been like difficult. But we don't, I guess like the biggest thing with language is that when you come back, you have to own that you have broken Spanish. If you have great Spanish, kudos to you. But if you're like us and you struggle a bit, it's just own it. Unfortunately, there are people that, make fun of us or, they bully us because of it. But you just have to tough it out and own it. It's our reality, We grew up in the States. Like, it's predominantly an English-speaking country. So obviously we're going to speak English a lot more than Spanish. I've had people, through YouTube and through like some interviews tell me, ay, han escuchado, ni sabe hablar bien español. ¿Cómo que se fue a México? Okay, like I own it. I know that I don't. But the beautiful thing is that it's okay. It's okay to have broken Spanish. And it's okay that you have to learn and that you don't understand things. Like, it's okay. You're not alone. There's a bunch of us that are in the same boat. The second thing is sexism and ageism. So we were walking downtown one day and we saw a help wanted sign. But the help wanted sign had like different bullets, and it said like preferido femenino, sexo femenino de 18 a 25 años sin compromisos. I took a picture of one that I'll insert somewhere in here so y'all can see it. So that was like really strange to me, like the specific gender, specific age, like it threw me off because you don't see that very much in the States, at least not like so upfront about it. They give jobs to, the younger you are, the more chances of getting a job that you have. The older you are, unfortunately, the harder it is for you to get a job, because that's just how it is. And that was a huge shock for us. That was a huge shock for me. And then when I see, like, in the professional world, I see women with a full face of makeup all the time, their hair done all the time, in a nice dress shirt. Not skirts are not that common nowadays, but every now and then you will. But for the most part, like dress shirt, dress pants, heels, full face, like. And that's not me. Like, I don't wear heels. I hate dress shoes. I hate dress clothes. I wear makeup every now and then, but it's not a full face. Casi nunca me peino, siempre ando de greñuda. So it's just like, it's so weird that that's like a standard that is given to women in the workforce. Even in the schools, like in the uniforms, all the girls have to wear skirts. Like, I have yet to see a school uniform where the females, the girls, aren't wearing skirts. I mean, obviously for like their gym uniform, their pants, but that's just their gym uniform that they wear 1 or twice a week. Other than that, it's always their skirts. So I don't know, it's weird. Like, you don't see that very often in the States. There's no 24-hour, like, nothing is open for 24 hours. And that's, like, it sounds, like, minuscule. There isn't, like, open 24 hours. Like, the taco stands, I think the latest they'll open is, like, 2 in the morning, maybe 3 in the morning. But they're, like, very, very rare stands that'll be open to 3 in the morning. So like Kika was saying, there's some places that are open for 24 hours, but like there'll be like pharmacies that are open 24 hours, but there's only one person that's working, and all the store is closed, and they have a little window, like a drive-through window, but you have to a walk up window, because you have to walk up to it. They'll open it, you tell them what they want, they'll give it they'll charge you. And, then you'll do the whole exchange through this little tiny window. The Oxxo, which is like the most famous convenience store here in Mexico, they're the same way. Most of them are open 24 hours, but like the doors are closed. It's just a little window, and you go, you ask them you tell them what you want, and then, they'll do the transaction through the window. So it's weird, because we're used to everything. A lot, not everything, but a lot of things are open 24/7, like Walmart and different fast food restaurants, and it's not the case here. Like, it's kind of sucks, because even if we get like hungry, like if we want to have the munchies or whatever, and it's like 10 or 11, like the places that are open are very few, especially during the week, like the weekdays. Those are the worst. They close super early. Which brings me to restaurants. Fast food restaurants are the only ones that I have seen that have a drive-through. And mostly, like, Burger King has a drive-through, McDonald's, Carl's Jr., but they're not called drive-throughs. What are they called? Auto King for Burger King. I can't remember McDonald's. Automac, I think, for McDonald's. Auto Pizza for Little Caesars, because Little Caesars has a drive-through. So it's like whatever their auto, and then whatever their their restaurant is. And ATMs, there is no drive-through ATMs.
One.
There's one. You're right. There's one, but it's so sketch. I hardly ever see anyone use it. Every now and then I'll see a car there, but I hardly ever see people use it. And it's the only one that I know of, at least here in San Luis. I don't know in other states if it's different, but yeah, there's only one like ATM drive-thru, and from there they're all like walk-up ATMs. So that was also, I don't know, different. It's not weird. It's just different than what we're used to. Movie theaters. I remember when I was in the States, one of my cousins from Mexico went to the States and we took him to the movies. And he was like, ¿Y la salsa? ¿Y los limones? And we like laughed because obviously we don't, they don't have that over there. At least not in North Carolina. But now that I'm here, it's like, oh, damn. I know what he was talking about now. Movie theaters here are so much better, at least in my perspective. The little stand, obviously you have your normal like butter and whatnot, but you also have like salsa and chamoy. Some places have lime, some don't. The popcorn, there's like Tajín flavored, Takis flavored, Jolly Ranchers flavored. And then if you go to like the Sinopolis VIP, like literally there's a waiter, you press a little button, you ask them what you want, and they bring you whatever you order. So I think it's so much better. Like that is one of the things that I love about the movies here. What else? Getting used to the metric system. That is like one of the biggest things that we're still not used to it. We still have to Google things constantly. Like our height, I'm 5'3". In metros, I don't know. I have to Google it all the time, Now I know that it's 1.63 metros or something like that. But, it took me 2 years to memorize that. And then talking like miles and kilometers and gallons and liters. You see, I hate it. I hate that the U.S. doesn't go on the metric system, and now we have to, get adjusted to it, which, it's not like a big deal, but it's just, if you plan to move, go ahead and start learning that, like desde ahorita, because everywhere else in the world, that's what they use. And then, Celsius and Fahrenheit. Like, oh yeah, it's so hot. It was like, I don't know, what in Celsius it's like 40. Estamos en los 40 or 30. I don't know, whatever it is. And I'm just like, I don't know what that means. So it sucks. I mean, thank God for Google. Driving. Culture shock. People don't follow the driving laws at all. I remember we were in Mexico City back in December 2018. We were leaving Mexico City. We were coming back home. And we were at a stoplight, it was red, we're waiting. And then the cars behind us just kept going. Like, se estaban echando la luz roja. Like, they did not care whatsoever. And then here in San Luis, like, stop signs, like, they're there for decorations. Like, and I've never seen anyone use a stop sign. And the roads have so many potholes. And nobody follows, like, the speed limits. It's weird. And then like insurance, like car insurance isn't like a law to have here. So I don't know. It's just like all that driving it's weird. I haven't driven in the 2 years that I've been here because I can't. I don't know. And street signs. There's no street signs, y'all. Like there is, but they're están pegados a los edificios. Like they're stuck on like houses and buildings. So they're super small. So they're super difficult to see. It's a part of one of the many reasons why has taken us forever to learn streets here in San Luis. Water. I had to get used to that the water is not clean here in San Luis, so we can't drink from it and we can't cook with it. And we always have to disinfect. We have to buy like a little, spray, to disinfect the veggies and fruits. So that has been something like for me, like in the kitchen that I've had to get used to, like culture wise, that everyone does it. It's like a normal thing. And for me, it was like, oh, okay, this is new. We're doing this.
Here in Monterrey, you can drink the water.
Oh yeah, in Monterrey, but Monterrey is advanced. It's a first world city. We don't live there. The clothes. Y'all know how back in the States, like if you're going to Walmart, you can go, like in sweats and a t-shirt, like looking all fodonga, and it don't matter. Nobody looks at you like you're crazy. Here, if you go out anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's to Oxxo or La Farmacia or Walmart, you're gonna get weird looks. Like, people don't go out like that here at all. Even here in my, like, with my own neighbors, like, I'll go out to, I don't know, downstairs to do something in my pantuflas, and they'll like look at my pantuflas and then look at me, like, do one of those, up and down looks, because it's just, people don't do that. And they don't wear shorts. So if we're like in downtown or someone and we see a guy, specifically a guy with like some kind of chanclas with shorts, tourist, foreigner, like right away you can pinpoint them, because we don't really see a lot of people wearing like shorts, at least men that wear shorts. That's all I have. Oh, beggars. So in the States, we have, obviously, we have people, homeless people, and people that, they're in the streets and they ask for money. And the biggest thing that I've had to get used to is seeing kids asking for money in the streets, kids juggling, cleaning windshields, like, it's super heartbreaking, and something that you have to get used to, because part of you wants to give them, like, constantly give them all you have, but the reality of it is that, especially that I don't, prior to getting hired recently, I don't have a job, so it's like I can't give them as much as I want to. So that has been something that I've had to adjust, and seeing how people act towards them, like and talk about them, and usually they're they're indigenous kids, or women, and it's just it's something that is super heartbreaking, and that we have to get used to. And my mom used to make a joke prior to me coming, saying, te vas a quedar pobre porque le vas a querer dar todo tu dinero a los niños. And it's so true. Like, I constantly want to give them everything, but the reality of it is I can't. So this is one of the biggest things that I've had to get used to. I think that's all I have. You have a note here that says food, recycled bottles.
Oh, I can tell the story.
Go ahead.
So one day I go to get some tacos at this taco place, right? If you know anything about the Coke here in Mexico, is that it comes in these glass bottles that are recyclable, and it has like real sugar cane sugar or something like that. A lot of the taco places have these crates and have a bunch of empty bottles in them, and that's where they put all the empty bottles after the customers use them. You're supposed to leave your Coke bottle on the table after you finish, so that the store can put them in the crates and then send them back to the company, and they get new Coke bottles. So I was used to the idea that if you buy something, it's yours and you get to keep it, and you can take it out of the store that you bought it. So I finished my tacos, but I didn't finish my Coke. So I grabbed the Coke and just left the place, the taco stand. And when I get to the office, my coworker's like, they let you keep the bottle? And I was like, yeah, why wouldn't they? I paid for it, right? And he was like, no. You paid for it, but it's not yours. It's still the bottle is still the company's, not the company's, the restaurant's property. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had to go back. So I go back to the restaurant, and I was like, I forgot to return this, and they were very nice about it. So I just left it there.
So yeah, I mean, I learned that because of him. The whole botellas de vidrio, and then like, yeah, a lot of things happened to him first, and then me. But yeah, anyways, that's like our biggest like culture shock. I don't think I have anything else. Do you? I think that was it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. DM me any questions or thoughts. If you hate it, I'm sorry, but don't come at me, because I'm a baby inside and I will cry. I will ignore you, but I will cry. Thank you guys so much. This week has been surreal seeing all of your guys' comments and messages, and know that I'm here. Know that you have a community here with Oda. You know, as voceros, all of this is not for us. I don't want to be, you know, famous or whatever. What I do is to help you all and to share lights that, you know, even though we feel like there's not a light at the end of the tunnel in the States, there is. You know, the States isn't the only place where you can grow, both career-wise, spiritually, emotionally. Like, it's not the only place. There are other places, and there's a community that is always here to help you no matter what. That being said, though, I think I try to make my videos as honest as I can, and I want to remind you guys, I'm not here to romanticize anything. You see me happy and smiling, but just Tuesday, I was in my bed crying because I missed my mom. I missed home. I missed being with my niece. She was giving me an update on her life, and I just started crying because I'm not there. So, oof. Getting teary-eyed right now. So don't, you know, keep that in mind. You know, we're here. You have a community that is here to help, but it's not easy. It is not easy whatsoever. Nos ves felices, like smiling, and I try to post as much as, you know, I can, especially now. But it's not easy. I'm not here to romanticize it, and I never will. I will always try to keep it 100% real. So always, you know, please keep that in mind. I have gotten a lot of messages telling me that they want to come back or that they're back. And I've had people telling me that, you know, they're saving money to come back. Like, you know, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. You know, I spent 6 years trying to think, am I coming? And am I leaving? Am I not leaving? And I don't regret the decision. I do not. I 100% am more happy here, but it hasn't been easy. The depression is real. It's so real. That any returnee, even and deportee, will tell you that the first months, the first year, the first 2 years, like, they are so difficult. And to this day, I have friends that have been here for 10, 12 years, and they still have those ups and downs. So always, please keep that in mind. Please, please, please keep that in mind. So I'll see you guys on Instagram and Facebook and in my next video. Bye!